A tiny, shivering puppy wouldn't stop following Officer Sarah down a quiet country road. At first, she thought it was lost and hungry, but when she knelt to comfort it, the little dog did something that froze her in place. Moments later, Sarah's eyes filled with uncontrollable tears. The early morning sun filtered gently through the trees as Officer Sarah drove along the quiet back road. The air was crisp, and the world felt still. Only the soft hum of her patrol car broke. The silence. As she turned a bend, a small movement on the side of the road caught her eye. She slowed the car, squinting to see what it was. There, standing alone in the gravel, was a tiny German Shepherd puppy. Its fur was dusty, and its ears twitched nervously. Sarah's heart sank at the sight. She had seen strays before, but this one looked far too young to survive on its own. She pulled over and stepped out carefully, not wanting to scare the little creature. To her surprise, the puppy didn't run. Instead, it hesitated for a moment, then took a few timid steps toward her. Its big brown eyes were filled with fear and something else, desperation. Sarah crouched down and whispered softly, "Hey there, little one, where did you come from?" But instead of relaxing, the puppy whimpered and started to follow her, as if begging her for help. Sarah knelt on the gravel road, her hand extended toward the tiny German Shepherd puppy, and the soft sound of its whimpering broke her heart. Carefully, she reached closer, but the puppy didn't shy away. Instead, it stepped forward, sniffed her hand, and let out a small bark, almost like a plea. She glanced around, scanning the area for any sign of its owner. The woods were quiet, the road deserted, and there was no house in sight. The loneliness of the scene sent a chill down her spine. Someone had either abandoned this puppy, or something had happened nearby. When Sarah stood up, the puppy immediately followed, its tiny paws padding along the dirt road. "Are you trying to show me something?" she whispered. The puppy stopped, looked up at her with wide, pleading eyes, and then ran a few steps ahead before glancing back. It was like a silent invitation to follow. Intrigued and worried, Sarah slowly followed. The puppy led her down a narrow path off the main road, weaving between the tall grass and wildflowers. Its little legs moved quickly, full of urgency, and Sarah could feel her heart pounding in her chest. Every few steps, the puppy looked back to ensure she was behind. There was no mistaking it now. This wasn't random wandering. The puppy needed her help, and whatever it wanted to show her was just ahead, waiting to be discovered. Sarah's boots crunched softly on the gravel as she followed the determined little puppy deeper into the woods. Her pulse quickened with each step, a strange mix of curiosity and dread settling over her. She had no idea what she was about to find, but the puppy's urgency told her it was serious. After several minutes, the path opened into a small clearing, surrounded by thick trees. The puppy stopped abruptly, turned to her, and whimpered again, tail low and trembling. Sarah's gaze followed where its nose pointed, and her breath caught in her throat. Under a fallen branch, half hidden by leaves and dirt, lay another German Shepherd, an adult. Its fur was matted, and its sides rose and fell in shallow, labored breaths. Sarah rushed forward, her knees hitting the soft earth as she gently touched the dog's head. "Oh no, you poor thing," she whispered, voice breaking. The dog's eyes flickered open, full of pain, yet somehow relieved to see her. The tiny puppy nudged its mother's side, letting out a high-pitched whine. In that moment, Sarah understood everything. This little pup had been desperately searching for help for its injured mother, refusing to leave her alone in the woods. Tears welled in Sarah's eyes as she realized the gravity of the situation. She couldn't leave them here. She had to act quickly if she wanted to save the mother dog's life. Sarah's hands trembled as she quickly assessed the injured mother dog. Her paw was caught under the fallen branch, and her fur was caked with mud and dried blood. The puppy pawed at her anxiously, whimpering as if begging Sarah to do something. Taking a deep breath, Sarah spoke softly. "It's okay, girl. I'm here now. I won't let anything happen to you." She scanned the area for anything that could help her free the dog and spotted a sturdy branch nearby. With careful movements, she wedged it under the fallen log and used all her strength to lift it just enough to slide the dog's paw free. The dog yelped in pain but didn't struggle, as though she instinctively trusted Sarah. Once free, the mother collapsed weakly onto the ground, her breathing shallow. Sarah knew she had to move fast. She unzipped her jacket, gently wrapped it around the dog to provide some warmth, and picked up her radio to call for backup. Dispatch, this is Officer Sarah. I've got an injured German Shepherd and a puppy in the woods. I need immediate assistance and a transport vehicle to the nearest animal hospital, she said, her voice urgent but steady. The puppy nestled against its mother, licking her face as Sarah stayed close, stroking the dog's head. She whispered, reassurances, fighting back tears. In that moment, it wasn't just about duty. It was about love, compassion, and the unspoken bond between humans and animals. The sound of sirens pierced the quiet woods as a rescue vehicle arrived. Sarah gently lifted the weak mother dog into her arms, feeling how fragile and cold she was. The tiny puppy trotted anxiously by her side, never leaving his mother's sight. Easy, girl. You're going to be okay, Sarah whispered as she carefully placed the injured dog on a soft blanket in the back of the vehicle. The puppy immediately climbed onto her, nuzzling her fur and letting out small whimpers as the vehicle sped toward the nearest animal hospital. Sarah held the dog's paw, silently urging her to hold on. The rain had started again, tapping against the windows like a clock counting down the seconds. Sarah's heart pounded. She had seen many rescues, but this one felt different. It was personal. She couldn't lose them. At the hospital, the vet team rushed into action. She's in shock and severely dehydrated, one of the vets said as they quickly set up 4 fluids. The puppy cried as a nurse gently lifted him into a warm basket. Sarah stood back, her fists clenched, silently praying. Relief washed over Sarah like a wave. She wiped her eyes, finally exhaling. For the first time since the rescue began, hope filled the room. Sarah walked slowly into the recovery room, her heart pounding with anticipation. The mother dog lay on a soft bed, her fur now clean and shining. Beside her, the little puppy snuggled close, his tiny tail wagging the moment he saw Sarah. The mother dog lifted her head and let out a soft whine, her eyes warm and grateful. Sarah knelt beside them, gently stroking her fur. Hey, brave girl. You made it, she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. The puppy climbed into Sarah's lap, licking her hands as if to say thank you. The vet smiled as he approached. She's a fighter, he said. If you hadn't brought her, and when you did, neither of them would have survived. You saved 2 lives that day. Tears welled in Sarah's eyes as she hugged the little puppy close. The mother dog rested her head against Sarah's knee, letting out a deep, peaceful sigh. In that moment, Sarah knew their bond was unbreakable. Weeks later, the adoption papers were finalized. Sarah opened her home and her heart to the courageous mother and her loyal pup. The once terrified dogs now had a warm bed, plenty of food, and a backyard to run in. Every evening, the puppy would curl up in Sarah's lap while the mother dog watched over him, safe at last. What began with fear and desperation ended in love and a second chance at life that none of them would ever forget.